What kind of treatment would a man have if he was the only one left on Earth? He usually had 12 women to accompany him for a meal. The women were fat, thin, tall, short, black, and white. Today, during the meal, the 200-pound fat girl was closest to the man, and she kept flirting with him, trying to win his favor. The man looked solemn. He knew that all the women tried to please him in order to get pregnant and get his tadpoles. Suddenly, the women all clapped their hands, and the black-haired woman immediately gave him a sweet kiss. The man knew something was wrong and wanted to run away, but was held down by the woman in white. Then, the women rushed over and pressed the man on the table, apparently trying to forcibly take the tadpoles. The man screamed and tried to resist, but there were too many people on the other side. At this time, the security guard also rushed in. Of course, the security guard was also a woman. Will they succeed? Why is there only one man on Earth? Let's start from the beginning. Suddenly one day, a virus attacked humans. This is a virus that only infects men. Once a man is infected, he will die suddenly in just a few minutes, and there is no room for rescue. In just 1 week, 99% of the men in the world died. 8 years later, the world has completely become a land of women. From the president to the police, all the roles that were traditionally played by men have become women. As the saying goes, women understand women best. After the female president took office, everyone had an extra menstrual holiday every month, and the women were very happy. The rights that were previously sought after have become easily obtainable, and the only thing that bothers people is the problem of reproduction. In order to ensure the reproduction of mankind, the president launched a lottery, which is drawn twice a year, and only the winners can get a male tadpole. These human seeds were preserved in the National Resource Bank before the virus outbreak, and everyone was looking forward to winning the prize. On this day, the female president was giving an impassioned speech on the stage, promoting her greatness. Everyone was full of admiration and happiness, but Xiao AI was the only one with a dark face. Just as the president said, "Let's build a better world together," a lump of green unknown liquid hit the president. Turned out that Xiao AI threw it in anger. Xiao AI was taken to the police station, but was not sentenced or fined. Instead, he was taken to a small dark room and shot directly. Xiao AI fell to the ground, but the shot was not fatal. Instead, a brainwashing ball was implanted in her body. This small ball would directly invade the brain of the person shot, making her unconscious and her intelligence rapidly degenerating until she became a useless person who could not take care of herself. Fortunately, Xiao AI had anticipated this. As she was often hit with brainwashing balls, she wrote a lot of notes at home to remind herself step by step. According to the content of the notes, she used a scalpel to remove the brainwashing ball from her neck. At night, Xiao AI's sister and her bestie returned home, but they couldn't find Xiao AI no matter how hard they looked. Where could she have gone in such a daze? They searched the whole house, but only found a blood-stained towel on the bathroom floor. What happened? The sister and her best friend rushed out to look for her, but they were too anxious and stepped on the accelerator. They heard a bang and seemed to hit something. "You didn't hit Xiao AI to death, did you?" The two of them hurriedly got out of the car to check. The car lights blinded them and they couldn't see what the black mass on the ground was. At this time, a dark figure came over from the side, scaring the two of them. Looking closely, the person was Xiao AI. It turned out that Xiao AI had taken out the ball during the day, and her sisters didn't find her because she went to a nursing home. Xiao AI's mother lived here. Her mother sat by the bed with lifeless eyes, and there were traces of brainwashing ball injection on her temple, which was why Xiao AI hated the president so much. Since it wasn't Xiao AI who was hit, who was lying on the ground, Xiao AI plucked up the courage to walk forward and turned the man on the ground over. After seeing the man's appearance clearly, the three women were all shocked. This is the 8th year of male extinction. Human reproduction can only rely on buying lottery tickets. Only if you win the jackpot can you get pregnant. However, the three women found a man in the bushes in the middle of the night. In order to determine whether the male creature was real or fake, the friend went forward and pulled the man's beard. Suddenly, the man grabbed the friend's wrist and instinctively slapped the man in the face, and the man fainted again. The three of them moved the man back to the garage. The bestie thought that the matter should be reported to the organization immediately. Otherwise, if they were found hiding the man, the three of them would be brainwashed. But Xiao AI just wanted to save the man now. Since the fourth person didn't know about this yet, the organization wouldn't know about it so quickly. Xiao AI carefully bandaged the man's wound. Now that she had a man, having a baby was no longer a dream. But the next day, Xiao AI and her sister were awakened by the sound of sirens outside the door. It was someone sent by the organization to visit the family and follow up on Xiao AI's brainwashing. Before Xiao AI and her sister could come up with a solution, her timid bestie opened the door and rushed out. She wanted to tell her about the man and the brainwashing ball. Her sister grabbed her and begged her to think about herself. If she told everything, her pregnancy qualification would be revoked. It turned out that her sister won the lottery 2 days ago, and she became the next lucky pregnant woman. She had been waiting for this opportunity for 8 years. How many 8 years can a woman have? Seeing her sister begging desperately, Her best friend softened her heart, so she didn't tell anyone. After the organizers left, Xiao AI saw that the man was still asleep, so she rummaged through his school bag. Rope, knife, bucket, there was a newspaper inside, and on that newspaper was a photo of Xiao AI's mother. What's going on? The man woke up at this time. Xiao AI questioned the man about his relationship with her mother, but he couldn't tell her the truth. This made Xiao AI more suspicious of his true identity. Xiao AI took out the brainwashing ball to threaten him. Just as she was about to do it, she suddenly had an illusion. The man turned into her mother. Her mother's terrified eyes begged her desperately. The painful look scared Xiao AI. She fell to the ground, picked up the hammer next to her, and smashed the brainwashing ball into pieces. The man no longer concealed that there were actually many surviving men in the world. The virus back then was not strong enough to make men extinct. Only the small number of survivors were being hunted by a mysterious organization and could only hide like cockroaches. The man tore open the secret compartment of his backpack and took out a phone card, which was given to him by an old man, so that he could get in touch with the survivors' safe base. But now the mobile phone has been replaced by a landline, and the man has not been able to find a place to insert the card. It just so happened that Xiao AI liked to collect old things. She had an old Nokia. When she inserted a card and turned it on, an anonymous text message popped up saying, "Rise." What did this mean? Were we going to revolt? Here, my sister came to the hospital for the last checkup before conception, but her body did not pass the test and she could not get pregnant. The middle-aged woman next to her added fuel to the fire, saying that she had been pregnant 4 times, but she failed the physical examination every time. The elder sister was anxious, so she went home and found the man. She took the cup and wiped it with her clothes, and asked the man to give her a cup of tadpole of 1982. The man was a little confused, thinking, "Do you really think I'm a cow?" But he had no choice but to obey. My sister went home to wait for news, but then she received a call from her best friend, saying that the organization knew about the man's affairs and had sent people. As soon as she hung up the phone, several police cars stopped outside the door and surrounded them tightly. Fortunately, Xiao AI had already escaped with them. At this time, the phone rang again. The man picked up the phone and wrote down a coordinate, which should be the location of the safe base. He was the last man in the world. There seemed to be something terrifying in front of him. The camera turned and a red dot appeared between Xiao AI's eyebrows. With a bang, fortunately Xiao AI reacted quickly, and she and the man escaped to the car together. The mysterious organization seemed to have set their sights on them. The 4 of them wanted to drive away first, but it happened to be Aunt's Day today, and the road was full of women celebrating the festival. The bustling crowd made it impossible for the car to move forward, so they had to get off and walk. Afraid that the man would be exposed, they put a doll costume on him and wanted to escape quietly with the crowd, but there were too many people and they got separated. The killer, hiding in the dark, found the right opportunity and kidnapped the man. The agile elder sister chased after him and hid in the killer's car. The killer pointed his gun at the last man in the world. At this moment, the elder sister appeared in time, drugged the female killer with anesthetic, and successfully rescued the man. After several days of running around, they finally found the address on the phone and found the safe base. The man looked very familiar with this place. Isn't this the place where all the men infected with the virus were isolated 8 years ago? The 4 of them walked in carefully. The corridor was very narrow. They heard a bang, and the door behind them closed tightly. The poisonous gas began to spread under their feet. They looked for an exit in the room. The man found a vent and removed the cover. There was a tunnel inside, which was just wide enough to accommodate 1 person. The 4 of them hurriedly climbed up, but before they knew it, the ventilation duct became narrow, and the man was stuck in the middle, unable to move, while the poisonous gas behind him continued to spread. The man began to shake his body violently, and the other 3 understood what he meant. After a few seconds, the ventilation duct broke in 2, and they escaped from the room full of poisonous gas. But the scene before them was even more terrifying than the poison gas. Dozens of naked men were tied up and tied to chairs. They kept calling for help. At this time, a group of people rushed out with guns and surrounded the 4 people. What on earth is going on? The female president came out and said that they had fallen into a trap. It turned out that the epidemic did not kill all the men, but the female president saw the shadow of power in it, so she hired killers to hunt down all the survivors. The survivors were imprisoned here and used as reproductive machines to continuously provide them with human seeds. At this time, a person wearing a veil walked in. Under the veil, it turned out to be a man's face, who was also the mastermind behind all this.